What's up, everyone?
What's in one?
Love that.
Our sports podcast.
The New York Football Giants. Love that.
What's up, everybody? This is episode number 17 of Fourth and One, a sports podcast. Fourth and One is presented to you by Why Am I a Nerd Podcast Network, where everyone is a nerd about something. My name is Sean Farrell, and sitting opposite of me is the golden voice of podcasting, Matt Ferreira. And joining us tonight, as always, is Ant the Statman, a.k.a. Ant the Italian, a.k.a. our resident Cowboys fan. Welcome back, Ant.
Filthy, filthy mug.
He's got the COVID from drinking out of that. On this episode of Fourth and One, we are back to talk NFL, fantasy football, and to end the episode, a special Dimes a Dozen segment to discuss our New York Football Giants. What's up, guys? What have you guys been up to?
Oh man, I've been all over the place. It's I got a couple weddings this weekend, so I'm going to be back and forth. I'm in one Saturday, attending one Sunday. I'm tired.
Oh man,
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
where are the weddings at? Close?
One's in Middletown, the other's in LBI, so it's not too bad.
That's not bad, but that's like the back-to-back wedding game. Like you got that double header. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can pull it off, especially when you're in that first wedding.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this goes.
What's the vibe like? Are these people ready to like party, or like are there social distancing rules? I mean, what are we talking here?
We're gonna see. I'm not exactly sure. I just got asked to help my friend out for this wedding on Sunday, so I was like, I'm a last minute add-in that just happened today. And then for the wedding Saturday, like that one is tomorrow. I got to go there. We do all the pre-wedding stuff, all that fun business, and then and then the actual wedding is from like 4 to 10. So not too bad. Like even if I go hard at the after party, I can probably still get in bed by like 1-2 o'clock and be all right. So
hey, you got it in you. I believe in you. you can do it.
Appreciate that.
What about you, Ant? What have you been up to?
Not much. Working. Went down to Brigantine last weekend. That was fun. Cape May. Went to Cape May Brewery.
How was that?
Good. Oh, it's great. They have great beer. It was a good time. Little beer garden outside.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
They make like slushies with their beer there.
Yeah, actually,
right?
Megan got one, and she doesn't want beer any other way.
Damn.
Except in a slushie.
Not even the pumpkin beers that you picked up that you've been bragging about?
She does like those too.
Okay.
She wants me to make a slushie out of it.
How does one begin that?
I have a margarita machine, so I think I'll just put crushed ice in there with the beer.
Just go for it.
That's one way.
I guess that's one way to do it. And I mean, I guess that just sucks for you too, because now you're just gonna be using that blender all the time.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah, like you can't even crack a beer open.
What even is the difference between a margarita machine and a blender? Like at the end of the day, aren't they the same thing?
I think the margarita machine like shaves the ice and then puts it in the blender and then it blends.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I've been I got roped into coaching soccer.
Oh wow!
So I got 8:30 a.m. start time Saturday mornings. Second grade boys soccer. So we're out there. We're out there. Bad News Bears and it out. Kids are into it, so it's fun. But yeah, man, it's been a while since we've been doing. We took a little hiatus, I guess. You could say.
A
week and a
little
half break. A weird schedule. Our schedules are all over the place. So it's good to be back.
Hell yeah, it is.
Obviously, we've had a lot of sports going on, a lot of good stuff going on. Our fantasy football league is heating up for some of us, to say the least.
For some of us. You know what? For all the shit that this kid talked in the beginning, I'm convinced that Miami Cam is out here sabotaging the league. How am I sitting here with 0 wins, going up against Washington Dave? This is bullshit. I'm calling it right now. If I have to march through the streets in a goddamn piece of shit Ohio State uniform, there will be hell to pay. I will set the city on fire.
It's fucked up, just for the record. If you look at the projections of who's supposed to finish where, you're projected to finish 5th somehow, and I'm projected to finish 9th. So I don't know.
Hey, it's a long season.
Let it come to pass.
It's a long season.
Let it come to pass. That's all I'm asking for.
Fuck you.
I think Miami Cam's already secured that documentary crew that he's going to use for your walking in the streets of Ohio State jersey.
Oh God.
It's going to be like a feature-length film.
It's not just a
Is
jersey.
this?
It's
Is
not
it?
just
I was
a
gonna say,
jersey.
am I wearing the mascot outfit?
I will make you wear a mascot outfit and carry around a Spider-Man doll that says "I'm a bitch."
Can't just add to it.
Crossover. It's a
You can't
crossover.
just add to it. This fucking guy.
Oh,
my God.
wait till you guys find out about my next move for opinions are for assholes. I just have to buy the shit online.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm terrified.
Matt, we came up with the punishment draft. Now Matt is doing the battle back. Has to battle out of it.
Yeah, I gotta fight. You know, this is you reap what you sow. I guess you know what I mean.
Life or death
Yeah,
situation. here.
I gotta do it. You know, I
Michael
said I would do
Thomas
it, I
is
gotta
still on
do
the
it.
block.
Fucking Michael Thomas. You know what I realized? You know what the bitter irony is? You know where Michael Thomas went to college?
Georgia Tech.
No.
Ohio
Ohio
State.
goddamn piece of shit state.
Yeah, I'll trade you for Michael Thomas.
I swear to God, Cam, if you try to offer me Antonio Brown, if you try to offer me Antonio fucking Brown right now, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to flip out.
I want to know. We'll have to Ant the Statmans have to look this up. Do you guys play again?
No,
No.
it's over.
There has
Week
to be a
one and
second
done.
matchup though.
Nope.
Oh, no, I guess everyone plays each other once.
No, I had to play fucking dimes and dies like 7 times.
That's I think it's dimes and thighs and
Yeah,
dimes.
dimes, yeah, something like that. I think that's Ashley.
Oh man, yeah. And how you doing in fantasy?
I mean, I should be 2-1, honestly, if it wasn't for fucking Drew Brees and the Saints.
Yeah, I should
Why?
have won last week too.
Came
Why?
marching in.
Why would you kick a field goal instead of going for the touchdown? Field goal, you can kick it from 50-something yards. Touchdown, just go for the touchdown first. I needed like one more pass from him, and I would have won. I lost by like 0.6 points. Rough.
That is
And I was
rough.
projected to lose. So I'm 1-2.
Hey, it's a long season. I think we'll
It
talk
is.
about this later. There's a lot
And-
of people are like proclaiming MVPs of the NFL right now, and I'm like, it's week 4.
yeah, it's early.
like, come on, like when they said Russell Wilson was the week 2 favorite at MVP, I was like, come on, he hasn't played, he barely played any games. Like, I get it, he's doing great. Like, but let's not jump the gun here and proclaim anything just yet. It's a long season.
Yeah.
You know?
In my big league where I was bold, as an auction draft. So I was like, I'm going to take Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. So this was the worst week 2 in the history of week 2s for me.
I forgot you did that.
Oh my God. I'm on the ground, like devastated about Saquon Barkley, and I get a text like, sorry about McCaffrey. I'm like, oh, ha, ha, you're so fucking funny. And then on fucking Red Zone, it pops up Christian McCaffrey injured. I'm like, gotta be.
Is this one of
Kidding.
your worst years in football history?
This is one of my worst starts for sure. But funny enough, in that league, I'm 2-1.
Hey,
So I can't be that mad. I just I gotta keep the train rolling.
there's luck, man. Luck is definitely a factor. Got the NBA Finals going on. Did you watch Game 1 at all, or catch anything?
I didn't get to catch that much of it, but I'm hoping LeBron pulls it off. I personally think we see Lakers in 6
Fuck LeBron James.
because you guys have the same middle name there, same last name.
I'm out. I know I'm not supposed to be on the show, but hold the fuck on. How do you like LeBron James, who played for fucking Cleveland, but you
Because
don't like the fucking
I've said this before. If LeBron had gone to Ohio State, if he'd actually gone to college, he would have gone to Ohio State. And had that happen, I would hate him. I would absolutely hate him. There's no question in my mind. But he didn't go to Ohio State.
Get the fuck out of here. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
He's from Ohio, and then he left Ohio.
You cursed
And then
out
Ohio
the
again.
state of Ohio like 4 times on this
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Fuck that entire state.
Cleveland and
But
the
you're
river.
fucking-
Yeah.
You're a fucking
Yeah, Cleveland, the river, everything.
Fuck you.
Hey, but speaking of NBA Finals, we do have Miami playing, and we had Miami Cam here, who's now leaving the
He's gone.
secret bookshelf.
Yeah, just left the back cave.
Yeah, I don't know. They're already injured. Game 1, it's not looking good for them.
No, it's not.
I think LeBron's probably like, this is going to be the easiest NBA Finals I've ever had at this point. I mean,
I don't know
Anthony
about
Davis
that. I mean,
does help. Anthony Davis does help. But I mean, they're hurt. Like Miami's hurt. Like they were
They're banged up.
unexpected to get here, and now they're down like two of their best players. So
Hero through those playoffs was looking just like his last name, though. He was playing lights out. Like, it's going to be exciting to watch that kid.
yeah, I saw a stat that he's like the first player that was born in the 2000s to play in like a conference final or something like that, which is crazy.
That's
wild.
so weird to think about.
Yeah, makes you just feel old.
Yeah, it really does.
Sorry, I brought it up. That, and we got the MLB playoffs. I stayed up till like 1:30 in the morning last night watching the craziest Yankees game I've seen in a long time. But
Dude, fell asleep. I fell asleep. It was
it
tough.
was back and forth. AL division series. I actually was skeptical about the playoffs and how they're doing the wild card, but I actually enjoy these short series where like you have to win, or the better team usually wins over a long series, but we only have 3 games. Anything can happen.
Yeah, you got to ball out.
I think, and I don't know if you can check this out. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals, who are beating Slam Diego, they're up 1-0, and they're playing right now. They had the lead earlier, so I mean that could be a big upset as far as the playoffs go.
Cardinals
Just got
are
an
up
update.
4-1.
Flacco is in for Darnold. My bad.
Yes, he got absolutely tossed to the ground.
Let's see
And
that. Oh yeah,
Darnold, he got body slammed.
he looks like he's in pain.
He's banged up.
Maybe this could be a blessing for the Jets. Who knows? I mean, Darnold, he did have a great run, as Matt stated prior to recording, but he hasn't looked that great. And if this guy's their future, they're definitely not putting him back in this game.
No, they should not at all. Nothing to win, nothing to lose.
The Broncos, even though they don't have Von Miller, they still have a pretty
solid defense. Yeah.
And they're going to get after the quarterback. It looked like when he was just running there, I don't know if you saw that, his arm was kind of hanging down.
Yeah, he's kind of like running like this.
Oh no.
Maybe a collarbone. I don't know.
I think he went, when he slammed, he went like this. So I mean, could be anything.
Oh God. Well, we don't have a doctor, so I guess we're going to have to wait till the experts.
Yeah, we gotta add one in. I guess.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait till the experts. But yeah, MLB playoffs. Yankees make to the next round. We have Tampa Bay, who are 2-8 against this year, but it's time for some revenge on Monday. So probably going to be getting together for some Yankees baseball. If you're not opposed to donning some pinstripes to drink some pumpkin beers.
New York is New York. Let's do it. Actually, I just realized that's my pumpkin beers downstairs. I just bought some new ones. So
I'm still in that Shipyard game. So
St. Louis is up 4-2, bottom 4.
Yeah, I mean, anything could happen, but obviously if you saw the Yankees game last night. But I mean, for the Cardinals to upset them in the first round, at least we're going to see something different than what's been going on. I mean, you saw the Twins lost their 19th straight playoff game or something like that, which is just absurd.
Straight. That is really just absolutely insane.
Yeah, I don't even know what you do at that point. I mean, you're making the playoffs, but
give up. Yeah,
you're not doing anything. We got some this is mainly an NFL episode, but before we get into the episode, it's been too damn long. Matt, tell them where they can find us.
Just in case you forgot, you can find us on Instagram at YMINerdOfficial. That's WHYAM, the letter I, A Nerd Official. On Facebook and YouTube at same way, YMI A Nerd, and on Twitter at fourth, it's the number 4, TH and 1 WON pod. Please rate, review us, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. 5 stars would be greatly appreciated.
In all of his fantasy football and regular football misery, he definitely has been practicing that.
Just once or twice, just a little bit.
All right, let's get into our. Well, don't worry. We're going to talk plenty about the Giants later. And probably shed some tears. And let's get into our rapid round here. If you want to kick us off.
Yeah. Which 3-0 teams are contenders or pretenders? Who loses first? Number 1, Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to go with contenders. I mean, that's a weak division. They look amazing.
They look really, really good. They finally put some good pieces around Josh Allen to throw it deep. I'm locked in for them.
Yeah, I think they're definitely a contender. I mean, they've looked they've looked amazing. They've just been like pummeling teams. Close game last week, came down to the end a little bit, but when you can prevail in those close games, that's a good sign as well.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 2.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Contenders?
I'm on
Pretenders.
the fence about them. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Big Ben makes it through the season. Sorry to jump over you.
You're good. I agree. You beat the lowly Giants, week 1. Not doing much for them.
That might have been our best game of the season.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I don't see them making out of that. That division is going to be tough. I mean, they haven't played
the Ravens yet.
They haven't played the Ravens yet. Who they're probably going to get. I think the Ravens are, after getting embarrassed against the Chiefs, are going to be looking for some revenge. But you got Cleveland, who we don't really know who they are either, and then Cincinnati, obviously. Young team,
they're
quarterback. Anything could happen though. With these division games, so I'm going to go with pretender right now. Who's their next game? They were supposed to play the Titans, who was our number 3 team.
Miami Cam's team.
Miami Cam's team. So let's talk about the Titans. What do you think, Matt?
They're good. I'm going to take them as being legit. I don't think they'll make a deep run in the playoffs, but I do think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean they have their main competition is the Colts, I guess, for that.
Yeah,
because
the Texans are, and we're going to get to them in a moment, but damn. So, and I thought the Texans were kind of going to run away with the division this year.
So yeah. The Texans also started off with like a tough schedule. So it's that 3-week thing where they've only played the 3 weeks. It's really tough to make determinations, based on who they played, because some teams have played really hard schedules to kick off and some have played, easy schedules. So it's tough to tell. I'm going to say they're a contender as well. Decent defense, strong run game. They made a strong run last year with a similar team. So, and the division is winnable. It's not as tough as some other ones, I would say. Let's go to our next guy.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean,
it's a lock. They might not lose a game.
Mahomes is doing things that are it's just unreal.
Yeah.
What he's doing. And their defense all of a sudden looks amazing after the last game. Like Steve Spagnuolo, year 2 there, he's tying it in. That could be dangerous. That could be dangerous. Let's go to the next one, Ant.
Green Bay Packers.
The rise of Aaron Rodgers. Is he back? I think he's
legit.
back.
Yeah, super legit. Everyone
bashed them for their draft, and they're just winning games.
Straight up.
You beat the Saints. I mean, that's pretty much, you're setting the bar for yourself in the NFC.
He's just pissed off, and he's going to play pissed off, and that's going to be it for the rest of the NFC. Pretty much exactly what it is.
Yeah, Vikings look like shit. I mean, our next team, we'll talk about the Bears. They're 3-0, but they don't. I don't know. They're
pretenders.
I'm pretender for them, definitely. And then you have the Lions, who are just not good either. So Packers are going to run away with that division most likely.
They probably need a couple more wins to secure it, honestly.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you got the Bears. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nick Foles coming into the fold here. Could he change things for them? Possibly, but
he's always been average at best. He's a game
manager.
And he showed up in the playoffs, no question about that. But he's never had more than, if I'm correct, and maybe you could back me on this, I don't think he's ever had more than 3,000 passing yards in the season. So I'm not exactly sold on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They have a defense to compete. If he can, manage some touchdowns.
Yeah,
they're already up 3-0.
It's true. They got a nice little start. Do you think Mitch Trubisky ever starts again for any team?
I think he's done, man. It's crazy when you see these quarterbacks that are picked so high that just don't amount to anything. They say it's the most important position to pick, and then everyone feels pressured, and they boost guys up way past their value usually.
Yep. because they don't want somebody else to take him. Like they moved
I
up.
mean-
They gave up so much to move up one spot for Mitch Trubisky. Like,
Oh man, I mean, we can't say much at this point as Giants fans, but hey, congrats to the Bears. They're 3-0.
So-
are they going to be contenders? Well, I guess we'll see.
2013 was his only season. He almost made 3,000 passing yards. He had 28.91.
wow.
So, but other than that, not even close.
How many games? Do you know how many games he usually? I mean, I guess he doesn't play a lot of games either.
He had
No, he
13
really
games that year. So-
I mean, he did lead them to a Super Bowl.
He
which,
did.
unfortunately. But I mean, maybe
that
that's
sucked.
maybe he's a game manager, like I said. Like he's not gonna wow you with his his throwing arm, his throwing power. He's just gonna do what he has to do to win games. So Chicago's sitting at 3-0. He could probably help make a run to the playoffs at least, maybe as a wild card in that division.
I mean, he does have one of the best nicknames in the league.
Yeah, that is true.
Really can't argue that.
Let's go to our last 3-0 team.
This is no question.
Seattle Seahawks.
Let's have
him cook.
Ant. Let's have Ant answer this one first.
Yeah, I think they're contenders. They mean business. I mean, Russell Wilson's just throwing touchdown left and right.
All he's
I
doing,
mean,
like,
Even if they're fumbling on the 1 yard line.
yeah, right.
Where did you watch that whole game?
I did.
It was a good game.
No, it was a great game, but I'm just tired of seeing it come down to that last minute.
Look, I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan and that's the team, one of the teams you lose to, it's tough to argue that,
Yeah,
you're probably going to
Sure.
see them again at this point.
yeah, and if they keep playing like that, it's going to be a rough one to watch.
That's also true. All right, let's go to the other side of the rankings here, and let's go to our 0-3 teams.
Oh, hold on. You
okay.
forgot to answer. Out of those 7 teams, I believe it is, who loses first? What do you think?
The Bears.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one to say.
Yeah.
Who do the Bears have next here?
I'm not sure.
Let's see who. I guess we can look at this week's schedule, right?
The Colts.
There's your loss. There's your first
Yeah, I
loss.
think that's it. I think that's it right there.
Hey, that works. Hey, it all worked out then. All right, let's go to our own. Let's go to our 0-3 teams, and obviously we want to talk about this number 1 team here on the list, put here for a reason.
Your New York Football Giants.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Which of these teams do we think still has a chance to be a playoff contender, and which are going to have a rough year? I think we can sign up for rough year.
Yeah, we were pretty positive with that 9-7. Now I think we're down to maybe 2-14. I'm wearing my camo Barkley jersey here because I can't see anything good happening with this team at this point. It is so upsetting.
It is, and I don't want you to get all your feelings out right now because we have a nice segment at the end. But let's just say it's going to be a rough year that has us not knowing what really to think of this team as a whole. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I think even a more disappointing thing than the Giants, who were not supposed to be good, is probably number 2, the Minnesota Vikings, who are just really I don't even know what happened to them.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Like, was Stephon Diggs that important? I don't even understand. Like, it doesn't make sense.
At this point, just tank the season and draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but you're going to be on this. You're going to be on that list with 10 other teams at this point.
Well, and they've got a fully guaranteed contract for what's his face, for Kirk Cousins, the first fully guaranteed contract in history, and he's not footing the bill. So
you like that? You like that? They don't like it right now.
They don't like it right now. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think they can definitely they have talent on their team. I think they definitely could turn it around a little bit. I don't see them being awful, but they just haven't done they haven't done anything. It's pretty as far as disappointing. I mean, I think they're it right now, or
Yeah.
that could be them or our next team, the Atlanta Falcons. who
Choke artist of the
have-
century.
Seriously, what do you think? They're getting rid of their coach this year.
Oh yeah, they have to. I mean, it was one thing to choke in the Super Bowl. It was another thing to choke one time this year, but they choked twice in one season already. It's
Ant
3 weeks in.
is thanking them. He's praising them.
That was another nail biter.
because like it's crazy to me that because for the entire team to fall flat means you as a coach are doing something wrong, because it's not like you can just say, oh, the defense let us down. Oh wow, Sam Darnold just ran out of the locker room. He's on the sideline and grabbing his helmet. So I guess he's back.
Did you see how the we'll get to the team that's playing, or two of the teams that are playing right now
Yeah.
are on this list as well. Can the Falcons turn it around this year? I don't know.
I mean, they might get up to like a average level. Like they might turn around and end up finishing like 8-8 or something.
Yeah.
But I think this has got to be pretty disheartening for everyone in the locker room and everyone, behind the scenes, like all the fans. Like that's not what you want to see.
No, and it's frightening because this, like you said, in the Super Bowl it happened, and now it's becoming a trend. What they're known for, like it's going to be an ongoing joke in the NFL that they can't close out games. I mean, great offense, but they just seem to like sputter down the finish and just can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a chance to beat the Cowboys and they threw that game away. They were crushing them off the bat.
Yeah, it was hard to watch, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't that hard to watch at the end.
No, well, it literally went to the end though. So like,
Yeah, fair.
We got the celebration text from it.
That we did.
Let's go. What's our next team, Matt?
Team playing right now, the Denver Broncos.
Injury bug. Yeah.
No quarterback. I mean, they're winning right now, 10-7. I didn't see how they scored, but
It was a nice catch.
They also are playing the Jets. So,
They lost Miller. They lost Sutton. Then they lost Locke. I was like, that's a lot to come back from. I mean, the one lone spot I feel like they have right now is Noah Fant. Fant? How do you say the last name? Fant, I think. I guess.
However you want to pronounce it. I know
Yeah.
you know who you're talking about. All our fantasy players out there. Sleeper tight end. I mean, they still have a solid defense, which, that could probably keep them in some games. But I don't see them being anything close to a playoff contender at all.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
I do think our next team could be a playoff contender. I think the Houston Texans got off to a tough start with their schedule, but when you have Deshaun Watson as your quarterback, added David Johnson this year, obviously they have a decent defense with some names there, maybe not what they used to be, but I think the Texans in that division could compete to make a playoff run, even though they started 0-3. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're desperately missing a number one receiver. I think that's almost painfully obvious to this point. But I think they can do something here.
And let's praise this next team. Thank God they are around, so we don't have to live in misery by ourselves.
Seriously, could you imagine?
Jets are hopefully the laughing stock of New York if it's not us.
I mean, there's a lot to laugh at in general. Let's be honest, but it's not looking great for them. Like I don't know what hope there is for the Giants, but there's a little bit more of it than there is for the Jets somehow.
So, I mean, I think we have the coach on our side, the positive, new coach that everyone likes. Everyone hates. They just can't stand Adam Gase.
Well, it's like how do you not know how to use a running back like Le'Veon Bell? Like, what are you doing? Have you ever watched football before? Like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah, weird hire too. I mean, a guy that came off like a really bad season as a Dolphins coach, and obviously he was recommended by
crazy eyes. Who's just looking around.
Yeah. Apparently recommended by Peyton Manning, but when you're an offensive coordinator, you got to worry about one aspect of the game, and now he has to manage a whole entire team and organization, and it's
and also you're the offensive coordinator for Peyton fucking Manning, who called half his plays at the line. So it's like,
right.
What are you
one of
really
the
worried
smartest
about?
football minds to ever play the game.
Yeah. So it's like, what are we really talking about here?
So thank you, New York Jets. We appreciate you as Giants fans because, We didn't want to be the laughing stock just by ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, Ant, let's go to this
Been a
next
long road.
question here.
All right. Which 2-1 team do you like the most? We got the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Raiders, Colts, Ravens, Browns, or Patriots?
This is tough. I
Yeah.
want to see the Ravens, but after watching that game, I think the teams are going to be able to figure out how to stop them, especially after one whole year of Lamar Jackson. I don't want to bet against the guy, but there's a lot of good teams here that some are surprising, some aren't. I do like the Colts a little bit. I like their offensive line.
Yeah, for me, it's either Colts or Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's one of those two.
What
Patriots
about, what about the Patriots?
they're performing more or less as I expected them to. You know what I mean? I really didn't think Bill Belichick was going to let that team kind of flounder at any point, and they're deploying Cam Newton, as well as possible. So I'm not crazy surprised by anything we're seeing there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 49ers obviously are banged up. I would say them.
Yeah, but that's if they return to full health at the same time.
They're going to have some. They have season-ending injuries on that team, but their B squad, maybe their C squad, just crushed the Giants. So that's not saying much, but still they have depth, and I guess that's something I wish the Giants had. But we'll talk about that a little more.
Yeah.
Raiders are kind of surprising. Had that victory in New Orleans, or actually at home against New Orleans.
Their first win in the black hole.
Yeah,
Or what do they call it? The Death Star?
The Death Star.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It actually looks awesome. The Browns, I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said for them going down. It could go either way for them. I originally picked them as the wild card team based on the improvements they showed, but they got crushed in week 1, and they're looking better now, but they haven't really played anybody either.
Yeah.
What about you, Ant?
I like the Raiders. I like how they're playing, how they showed up versus Saints. But Cardinals, too. I mean, Kyler Murray's, I think he definitely is having a better year than he had last year.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Way better.
Hopkins helps for sure.
Oh, yeah. He's, good wide receiver core. They'll make a run for sure.
To continue our little NFL here, we got some more questions here. Let's just get into them.
All right. What the comebacks? Falcons blow another 2 games with a big lead in game. Was this a bigger win for Dallas Bears or losses for the Falcons?
I mean, when you look at it, the Bears are 3-0, and Dallas needed that win to be 1-2. I guess we're not surprised by how the Falcons lost, and I think it's good. I think it's better for Dallas than the Bears, to be honest with you. I think they needed those W's.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it shows a little more.
Especially when the whole division's kind of floundering like this. You know what I mean? Like the Eagles are 0-2-1. Washington's 1-2. We're 0-3. Like you got to do something there.
Yeah, you needed that. You needed that win. If you're 0-3, then you're just as good as the Giants at this point, record speaking. I think it'll be a little different when we play them, but yeah, I think they needed it. And the Falcons, I don't know what to expect. I mean, if this is what they're going to do the rest of the season, then it doesn't matter because they're not going to be going anywhere. Where at least Dallas and the Bears have a shot to do something. What do you think, Ant? Was that bigger for the Dallas to win that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'd be 0-3 to start the season. That'd be
Brutal.
horrendous, brutal. I mean,
It's
how you guys feel, right?
It's awful, man.
Yeah.
The worst.
What's crazy though is like they're 1-2, and people are talking about Dallas like they're ready to go to the Super Bowl. Like no one's even talking about those 2 losses. They're just talking about how they played against the Seahawks. Their win against their comeback against the Falcons.
Yep.
They're doing things that other teams wish they could do down the stretch, and Dallas is pulling it off. Even though they are 1-2, they're still the lead for that division technically, I guess.
I mean, that division itself is pretty horrendous. So.
I know. I think Dallas will be able to capitalize when they actually play some division games. Then we'll really see how good they can be. Let's go to number 2.
Speaking of the Bears, Foles comes in at half and leads the Bears to victory against the Falcons. He has now been named the starter. What happens next to Trubisky? Can Foles work long-term in Chicago?
I mean, we said this before. He's done. It's over for him. The Trubisky era is over. I doubt he starts for the Bears again, barring injury, or any other team, barring injury. He just doesn't have it.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, it's like we said before. It's laughable that they had to trade up to get that guy. Even when you look at him in college, he wasn't that impressive. I don't know how scouting departments worked. I listened to the Jets talk about players they've drafted in the first round, and the guys when they were naming them, like Calvin Pryor and all these guys that D Milner that you hear, you think what were these teams thinking when they drafted these guys in the first round?
Yeah,
were they highly rated by other teams, or were they going to slide to other rounds if X, Y, and Z team didn't take them? And Trubisky's one of those guys. I'd be interested to see if he didn't get picked by the Bears there, where does he land? Who knows what happens to him? It's crazy.
Yeah, he went before Watson and Mahomes. It's nuts.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's insane. As far as Foles goes, I don't long term. He doesn't seem to be the long term solution for anyone.
Yeah,
he's a guy, a filler. Maybe they can draft another quarterback, but at this rate, they're not going to be in position to if they keep, winning some games. So I don't know. I mean, I think he's a short-term solution, but I guess we'll see. What's for number 3 here?
Are Saints in serious trouble after struggling and getting back-to-back losses against the Raiders and Packers?
I don't know I don't think they're in serious trouble. Obviously, Ant, you said you like the Raiders. We talked about the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, pissed off.
Yeah,
those are two solid teams. Now, the Saints were in both of those games against those teams. Now,
and they're without their best receiver. You know what I mean? Losing Michael Thomas is a factor. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I was just going to say I just didn't know where he went to college.
Fucking Ohio State.
Yeah, no, and even Drew Brees is this could be the end for him. So it's interesting to see there was a stat on how deep he's throwing the ball, and he's just dumping the ball off every single time.
Yeah,
but he also has done that every single season for the past 5 years, and they're still competitive. When you take away Michael Thomas, their biggest weapon, the arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, you're definitely gonna see a setback. I think we talked about this in a previous episode. You're not going to be able to replace him. That could be a couple. That could be these 2 losses that they received because they don't have their guy. So I don't know. I don't think they're in serious trouble. I think that division. You obviously have the Falcons, you got the Panthers, and you got Tampa Bay, and none of those teams are really that impressive. I think the Saints can take all of them down the stretch. So, yeah. All right, number 4.
Is Russell Wilson on pace to win his first MVP and get his first MVP vote? Does Wilson's year-long consistency hurt his MVP chances every year versus some flashier players?
Go ahead. Matt.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, you said earlier it's too early, which I agree with you. But if we're going to call it this early, I think the answer to both questions is yes. I think he's definitely playing lights out this year. He's backing up what he said in the offseason, the whole unlimited talk. And then, as far as his consistency hurting his MVP chances in normal years, I think that's true too, because he puts up, top 5 numbers, at the position every year. And it's just, he just gets overshadowed by guys like Mahomes and Jackson, who come in and just light up the NFL, and you can't look away from them. And it outshines what Russell does, but Russ does it day in, day out. He's probably got the highest floor of anybody else. Sorry, go ahead.
He is consistent, and he's not worried about his own statistical, career. That guy just wants to win. He's an underdog that came into the league with, no one thought he was going to be able to ever be this good.
Yeah.
And he is, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he wins MVP. Does he deserve to probably receive it this year if the season ended today? Yeah, 100%. The guy's he's playing lights out. It shocks me that he never even got an MVP vote ever.
He's never gotten one?
No.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
I mean, we'd have to look like year by year to see who won it, and like, but if you know just from playing fantasy and being involved in a sports and knowing stats, you know that he's a top quarterback every year at his position. Maybe he's not putting up the most yards, touchdowns, but he is consistent, and I think consistency. You could see how good the Seahawks have been, since he's been on the team. It's been crazy. So I'm rooting for the guy. I mean, he's a guy that that I've always liked. Also, he is a New York Yankee. So
True.
So and I do have him on a fantasy team, and Russ is cooking for sure. And I do have Lockett on a couple squads. So keep throwing the ball to him. But go Russell Wilson. Let's go to number 5.
If you are the Jaguars, what do you do with Gardner Minshew? Is he for real as a franchise quarterback? Should they move on in the upcoming draft? Side note, how good would the Jags be if they had not traded away all their stars?
They'd be very good if they hadn't traded those guys away.
Yeah, look, they were one play away from going to the Super Bowl. I mean,
which is like
they
nuts.
had one of the most dominant defenses, and for some reason they just keep it just that pisses me off as a Giants fan. Like, look at how talented and young their team was, and now they're just getting rid of guys.
Yeah,
I like whether they don't want to pay them or not.
They just couldn't.
They actually acquire talent. The talent they bring in, kudos to their general manager. They're doing a pretty good job. Even Gardner Minshew. I don't what you would do with him. I mean, he's obviously having success there, and his supporting cast isn't that great. His offensive line is terrible, and he's doing a pretty decent job. Depending on where they have to draft, obviously if you're taking number 1, you're taking the quarterback. I don't think there's any question about it. Other than that, you can kind of try to improve your supporting cast and just build around Gardner at that point. What do you think, Matt?
I agree. I mean, I almost would say they got lucky with that pick, but Minshew's talented. Honestly, even from outside of a football stand, he's a perfect guy to bring attention to that team that you would otherwise look over.
Marketable.
Yeah, he's super marketable. You already see the T-shirts with the mustache. I love the banter between him and Ryan Fitzpatrick before last week's game. It's just something that if I'm in charge of the Jags, I'm like, we got to keep this guy. You've got to.
That's
you got him
we
for
need
a
to come out
now.
with Miami Cam shirts with the mustache and the beard.
Oh my God,
and maybe maybe we have him put his hair back in a bandana like Gardner.
Honestly, we should find a picture of him and get that made and wear it to his birthday. I think we have just enough time to pull that off and just not say anything and just pull over.
I wonder how we can do that.
I mean, it's coming up soon, so
we got to do this real soon.
We got 10 days.
Yeah.
The 9.
9, yeah.
Basically at this point,
Practically. All right, hey, Camapalooza shirts coming at you. New merch from 4th and 1 Pod.
The first merch from 4th and 1. The best part is he's going to have no idea because he's going to zoom past us. He's going to be like, wait, what? He's like, I didn't agree to this.
We need to be him in a Miami Vice suit with his hair slicked back, Miami Vice Cam.
Oh my God, Miami Vice Cam. That's great. That's amazing.
The new Gardner Minshew. The Gardner Minshew of 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Let's get
long hair. I can just picture it. Oh, God.
Let's get through our last question, Ed.
All right. Cam and Patriots were a play away from beating the Seahawks and going to 2-0, and then bounced back to beat the Raiders in Week 3. Super Cam was looking confident as ever, and his mechanics looked to have improved. Can the Patriots keep up his level of play all season? Is Cam the answer long-term in New England?
I say yes and yes. I'm actually curious, how old is Cam Newton? 31. So yeah, I think Cam could play there for a few more years for sure.
Yeah. It's fun to watch for sure because you're just so used to watching Tom Brady there, just to have another guy at the helm running the show there.
That's doing something totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to watch. I am concerned based on how they run their goal line sets, running him with the ball. if he can stay healthy the whole time. There he is. He's back. Miami
He's back.
Cam in the flesh. Cam Palooza, October 10th.
So
Coming to you.
10 wins.
Uh-oh. Just everyone put their earmuffs on in case there's anything said in the background.
Okay, so
Cam, are we talking about Cam Newton or Miami?
We're talking about Cam Newton, and it shocked me that he actually has a tied record with the Buccaneers. I had to look it up to double check because I feel like a lot of that Tom Brady talk has really kind of calmed down. I feel like it's really been just all about Cam Newton. I haven't heard that much banter about the Bucs, shockingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Tom Brady never even played there. He's a lifelong Buccaneer that's just been struggling. But I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward. I want to see him succeed because I'd love to see him in the playoffs, obviously.
And he went to a great college. Honestly, probably one of the best schools you could possibly go to. So throw that out there too.
It's true. Are we talking about Cam Newton or Tom Brady?
Oh, I was talking about Tom Brady. Sorry, who were you talking about? I was still all in on TB12.
Yeah, hey, TB12. I mean, we don't have any questions about him today, but shout out to TB12. Hopefully, he gets built some more chemistry this weekend down in Tampa Bay. All right, before we get into our next segment, let's get a word from our sponsor.
Why Am I a Nerd podcast network has been brought to you by our sponsor, Me Moms. The best breakfast and lunch down the Jersey Shore with 3 great locations in Wall Township, Middletown, and Brick, New Jersey. Me Moms specializes in unique and fun takes on your traditional lunch and breakfast items. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find more information at www.memoms.com.
And we're back. This is a special edition of Dimes a Dozen. Name possibly changing soon.
Dimes a loose change.
Yeah, seriously. We're gonna do a little 2-week review and the state of our favorite franchise, the New York Football Giants. Matt, let's time travel a bit. Let's go back to that Bears game when we were texting, and we thought it was over. It was 17-0. The Giants make a little comeback.
And then Saquon kind of. Oh, are we talking about?
No, go ahead.
The devastation, which is what I'm calling it. So Saquon kind of has that little hiccup where he's down for a second. You're like, oh my God, is he hurt? Did he hurt his arm? He gets like, oh, he's okay. He's good. And then they don't check out of a play. Run the same play where obviously Saquon's going up the gut. Saquon does what he does every single time. He holds the ball and puts the entire team on his back and comes down off of a jump a little awkwardly and then doesn't get up and then rips his helmet off in pain. And I could actually hear my heart crumbling inside my chest. It was goddamn devastating.
I think it's shattering.
You sit down, you shut the fuck up. I think it's shattering. I'm sitting here expressing my feelings, watching the greatest football player on the face of the planet get devastated. Don't give me that look. You know he's good.
Look, it's heartbreaking to watch a guy with so much talent just go down with that kind of injury. I mean, it happens all the time in the NFL. You never think it's going to happen to someone in your team, especially someone like Saquon Barkley that has.
He's just an all-around good dude too. It's like Saquon. Nobody. I don't know anybody who actually hates Saquon Barkley. You can't. You just can't. There's nothing about him that's hateable.
Like Ezekiel Elliott, he has a belly tattoo and possibly beat up a few women.
And he went to the worst fucking college in the history of fucking piece of shit Ohio goddamn fucking state.
But you're
plenty of things. But LeBron didn't.
Keep feeding him.
But he played.
Feed me.
Hey, can I chime into this?
He's an Ewok.
Do you think so? Yeah. Apparently, someone's suing Ezekiel Elliott for that term. Some WWF wrestler.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, is suing him for trademark infringement.
Trademark infringement, yeah.
Yeah, or some bullshit where he can't say it. I don't know. I saw it on Bleacher Report. I just thought that was. I didn't know. What you guys
that's crazy.
I thought that was kind of.
How is that trademarked?
I have no idea.
That is
Ex
wild.
WWE star.
It's true, right?
Ryback threatens legal war.
Who?
Ryback.
Exactly, but now we know his name because he did that.
Ugh.
What do you think the future for Saquon holds? I mean, it's
yeah.
tough to say. I mean, he's young enough where he could come back, but that explosion, what made him unique, why they drafted him, it might be tough to replicate what he's been doing.
My understanding is ACL injuries are obviously devastating, but the strength of the surrounding muscles plays a big role in the recovery. I don't think there's any question that Saquon has strong leg muscles. So I think he should be able to recover, maybe not as miraculously as someone like Adrian Peterson did. I would hope so. But I think we'll see a solid comeback from him. What does worry me is the future of the team. If we get rid of Gettleman, I shouldn't say lose because we need to fucking get rid of him.
We'll touch on that.
Excuse me, there's my one for this episode. If we get rid of Gettleman, as we well fucking should at this point, then I'm worried that the new GM might try to blow up the team, build picks by trading Saquon, and then building around Jones and possibly fortifying the offensive line further. That would be my main concern.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Saquon, by the time, he can come back, hopefully full strength, it's going to be close to that contract time. I don't know if I could see the Giants, giving him big dollars based on coming off a major injury. But a guy like him, he could get it from probably somewhere else if he wanted to.
Yeah, it would be, it'd be such a mistake to let him go over money too. I'd be so mad about that. Like not that I'd be happy about it, but if you trade him for picks, at least he did something. If you just let him walk for money,
yeah,
it'd be rough.
Yeah, we wish him the best. We hope he comes back stronger.
Obviously, yeah. Love to see 26 back on the field, baby. Let's go.
Let's go back to the Bears game. A winnable game, a game that we said they needed to win at our first episode of Dimes a Dozen. They came out, they looked flat. They just don't have it. Like, they're just not. The defense looks decent. Now they haven't.
Yeah, shockingly, the defense, yeah.
But they're just offensively, they're just not doing much. Is this a product? I mean, maybe Anthony can speak to this, of Jason Garrett. Is this, who we're going to talk about and is definitely under the microscope, Dan Dimes?
Yeah.
What do you, is it the offensive line? I mean, there's a lot to attribute that it could be, but what do you think the problem is on offense that we can't really move the ball? Anyone? Anybody?
Oh, I didn't know I thought that was a question specific for Ann. I was going to say, I think the problem lies in a few places. I don't think Garrett has reasonably adjusted this offense at times, like I said, where he was constantly running Saquon up the gut, where Saquon obviously does more work when he gets space. Pitch it to him, toss to him outside. Now, obviously, getting the ball to Saquon is irrelevant, and I feel like we're still seeing the same play calls go on. So that's a major issue. I think some of Danny Jones's, because now we're going to downgrade him completely, some of his decision-making has been piss poor, for lack of a better word. That's what cost us the Bears game, is that pick, and then everyone looked bad against the 49ers. Like, that was just a brutal game to watch. So it's really tough to say exactly what the major problem is. I actually don't think the offensive line is that terrible. They're not good, but they're not playing awful considering they haven't had any time to really gel and that they've been up against some top tier defenses. I do think some changes need to be made. We need to see some rotation there. I'd like to see Matt Parrott, whatever the fuck his name is, get in there, or a third round pick out of UConn. So that might help, but something needs to get shuffled with the line, but I don't think they're the main problem.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had healthy options, receiver wise, and we don't really have anybody that's like a different game breaker, a different playmaker, Tate,
Slayton maybe.
They're kind of the same guy, same player. We don't have a different, receiver wise, Evan Ingram, awful.
Yeah, and Ingram's supposed to be that guy. It's a first-round draft pick, and every year we hear, "Oh, Everett Ingram's potential this, potential that." Like, bro, put up, shut up, or get out. Like, he's the one we should have traded as opposed to Odell Beckham. I think we would have been seeing a lot more teams kind of back off the line of scrimmage if we still had Odell on the field. Yeah. To be 100% honest, and Ingram doesn't strike fear into anyone.
Yeah. Speaking of bad draft picks, Dave Gettleman. What week is Dave Gettleman going to be the GM? I think he needs to go. We don't have any depth whatsoever. Our guys are getting hurt, and we have no one to back them up that can come in and provide quality anything. We have no receivers. I mean, yes, we have a decent defensive inside line, but other than that, like where, what has he been doing? He started this rebuild by blowing the team up and trading people away the first year, not adding anybody. The second year he drafted some guys, didn't really work out. Next year,
same thing.
We're not really seeing results where, look at the Bengals. They draft one guy and their team is exciting to watch. They're filling holes left and right. I mean, I think while we don't have to be that critical of the Giants, you can look at every other team in the NFL who lose players all the time due to injury or free agency or whatever, and they just refill those spots, or they have the depth to fill those spots. And, Dave Gettleman is just not pulling his weight as far as building the depth of the team.
Yeah.
It's just, what week do you think he's going to go? What's our record have to be at? Or do you think he's going to stay? Do you think ownership's going to?
They might not do it until the end of the season. It might not make it says a lot more, I think, to fire a coach halfway through the season than does to fire a GM. And I think the one time we should have seen a GM fired midway through the season was, this is a throwback to Jerry Reese when Eli got replaced by Geno fucking Smith, and every single fan went livid. I didn't watch that game. It was against the Raiders. I'll never forget. I refused to watch that game because I was so angry about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And a trend you see now is where teams will fire the GM, they fire the head coach, they pick the GM, they let the GM help with the coach search. I like Joe Judge. The Giants are losing, but they are competing with a lack of talent, and I don't think you can blame that on Joe Judge in year one.
No, I don't think that's really fair to put on him. I mean, look at one thing I'll compare it to is look at Brian Flores, who came from a similar background. Were the Dolphins good last year? No, but they were a little bit more competitive. You could tell that they were building towards something. Jesus. Excuse me. I think Judge has a similar vibe in the locker room. It's just going to take him a little bit longer to bring it to the forefront.
Right. I mean, if they get rid of Gettleman, I would assume they would retain Joe Judge, or do they let the general manager just make that choice to start fresh?
It makes it tough. That's why it's easier to get them both out at the same time. But I think for once we've got a good head coaching hire, someone new, someone fresh, and you've kind of got to ride through the bumps. Like it's, honestly, something you said in the very beginning. Yeah, the Giants look really bad right now. It's also week 4. You know what I mean? Who knows? We've seen turnarounds happen all the time, especially as Giants fans. We've seen things go from really bad to really good. So it's totally possible something turns around here. I'm very hopeful it happens. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to believe it does, but I would hope something turns around at some point. We kind of, see something positive happen for this team.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the offensive line still needs time to gel. It's a new system, new offense, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. We kicked it off with Pittsburgh week 1 with probably the best defense we're going to possibly see all year.
Yeah.
Bears have a solid defense. 49ers, even though they're hurt, they have a great team just in general. So it's one of those things where we started off with a strong schedule. Obviously, our predictions did not go as planned. We did not predict these injuries.
No.
We're looking like a bunch of assholes right now, unless the Giants
a little bit
resurrect themselves like you did in episode 15 to be on the episode. But
came back.
But hey, I don't know. I mean, I think this all is really going to come down to our man Danny Jones, now known as Daniel Dimes. What do we do with him? I mean, he's had 4 straight games with multiple turnovers. It's some of the decisions.
Yeah, he's got to clean it up.
Are awful.
Really is.
And
Really
I think
is.
I text you during the whatever the Bears game when he was, fumbling the ball away, throwing picks. I mean, it's a constant thing, and his decisions aren't just like, they're not just bad, they're really bad.
Yeah.
He threw a pick against the 49ers. He threw it right to the linebacker, the only guy that was still a starter from
yeah. And it's like, oh, sorry.
I just don't know like how I feel about him going forward. If the Giants get that number 1 pick,
do we take
what
Lawrence? Yeah.
What do we do? Because I think it's a tough choice to say, hey, he's had 2 years and we haven't seen him elevate the offense, where you have Joe Burrow, changing that whole entire dynamic of the Bengals.
Like, yeah. And it's not like he hasn't had opportunities. He's had plays, he's shown glimpses here and there, but it's you're right. He really needs to kind of cut off the mistakes, because it's not even like he's doing like heroics. I'd be okay if he's throwing a pick on a 50-50 ball when we're on, the game's on the line. You know what I mean? He's like, whatever, this is a gutsy ball, let me try and jam it in this window, and it gets picked off. I'm like, all right, he's a gunslinger, like I can live with that. But it's like he's just looking the wrong way. He's getting strip sacked. He's just getting beat the fuck up, and some of that's on him. There's really no taking it away at this point.
Yeah I think we try to make try to reason while he's doing these things, or give him the benefit of the doubt. But when you start playing all these games and it's the same story every time, and we're losing close games by a score here, and you turn the ball over 2 to 3 times, I mean, that's the difference in the game right there. I mean, that Steelers game could have went our way. We had the momentum. We're driving down the field, and bad mistake. Same thing with the 49ers. They have an opportunity before halftime. The 49ers score. Giants get the ball back. They turn the ball right over. The 49ers get another score, put a little, breathing room between them and the Giants, and it just changed the whole dynamic of that game. A bright spot for the Giants right now is their defense. They are they haven't played the best offenses. I mean, Steelers are formidable. The Bears, obviously, with Trubisky didn't look that great. And, we played against a backup quarter in the 49ers, but the defense hasn't been as bad as they have been in the past. They've been showing some promise. So if we can look at anything, I think that's a positive, at least. Especially when you get into division games, we need to try to at least keep it close.
Agreed.
What did you think about the 49ers game? San Fran. I mean, I went in with expectations that we needed to win that game with a team that was playing 3rd and 4th stringers. Yeah,
we lost the backups. Like one of my friends put it recently, who we actually need to have as a guest on the show, so he's a big soccer guy too. Shout out to Tom. He was saying, like, we basically lost to Alabama. Like, Alabama's starting line probably could have beat us in that game. I'm like, you might not be wrong. I mean, they just looked bad all around, and they were so bad it was tough to pinpoint exactly what the problem was. Like, I don't know if they were just unprepared, if nobody came to play, if they were just disheartened going into a game without their best player. I don't know what it is, but I hope Judge has an answer in the locker room and they come out with some fire week 4 and we see something, because we're about to go up against a brutal stretch against all divisional opponents. It could be very rough sledding. Like, we might not get a win until after the bye if they don't do something.
And if they don't do something, like, what is next for the Giants? If you were the owner of the Giants, what are your 3 moves that you're making to improve the dynamic of this team, not just for this year, but like for the future?
I mean, I'm firing Gettleman. That's no contest, no question. He's gone. What other moves do I make?
I mean, if you have a top pick, are you getting rid of Dan Dimes?
I'm probably going to take Lawrence, and I'm either going to have a quarterback competition or I'm going to see what I can get. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to auction the pick off. Somebody offers me something really good, I'll take it. But odds are I might just take Lawrence and be like, quarterback competition, let's see what happens. Loser gets traded. Like, keep it real.
That's like what you're going to announce to the players.
Yeah, like, listen, guys, like, good luck. Like, Trevor, I know it's your first year. Daniel, you're loose change. You're down to nickels. We gotta see something go on here.
All right. I mean, hey, look,
Keep it real.
at this point, anything is better than what we're doing now. Matt is now campaigning for owner of the Giants, possibly general manager of the Giants.
I'll take the job. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Golden Voice is up for it.
And you will have your first interview here on 4th and 1.
We should do that. We should do a mock team interview, like all of us different GMs for different teams. That'd be great.
What are you looking at? You said 2-14 for the Giants record. What's the most amount of games you can see them winning at this point?
At this point, honestly, there's only 2 that look kind of winnable. It's tough because of Washington's defensive line. I really thought we had a chance prior, but it's looking tougher and tougher day by day just because that who do we have left? Let me bring up the schedule here.
The Browns, right?
And the Browns, I thought we could beat the Browns until I remembered that Odell Beckham is on the Browns. He's going to burn us just for the sake of burning us. Unless Bradbury has a career day.
Bradbury and Ryan have been looking decent. Bradbury saved us on.
No, our defense has honestly looked pretty good. If they weren't on the field 24/7, you know what I mean? Like we could be doing something. Like really, this team could be winning games if we could run the ball and then defend against everything, which we're kind of built to do. But now we can't run the ball, so I don't know. But we got the Rams this week. I don't know. Aaron Donald, terrifying.
Yeah,
just go the opposite direction.
He's going to destroy.
Go the other way.
Dan Dimes is going to be little Danny Dimes at the end of this because he's going to get destroyed by.
Yeah, it's going to be like, when you go on vacation, they got those little machines to put like the quarter in and you roll it up. We're doing that with Dimes this week. He's going to be in deep trouble, bro. Like run. Just run in the opposite direction every single chance you get.
Like possible wins, we got Cleveland and Cincinnati.
And
we got the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not to mention Dallas, Washington, Philly.
And we've got a straight contest. Yeah. We've got a straight shot against 3 divisional opponents the next 3 weeks. Like this is bad. Like we've got to level up here because, honestly, if we played the Eagles this week, I give us a decent shot. But the Eagles 3 weeks from now are going to be a very different team.
Yeah, so we're here saying it here first. Trevor Lawrence, welcome to the squad. Number 1 pick, 2021 draft.
I know, it's like you said, they're still the Jets.
They're still the Jets.
Jets.
Who knows? This is going to be Giants fans. Thank you for staying with us and tuning in. This is going to be a long, long season. If you are not a Giants fan, at least you have Ant here who can maybe provide you some winning ways.
Yeah.
With his little coffee cup there. Matt, where can everyone find us?
All right, just in case you weren't sure or if you somehow forgot, you can find us on Facebook at Why Am I a Nerd? That's WHYAM letter I a nerd. You can find us on I lost my spot. On Instagram at Why Am I a Nerd Official. Again, WHYAMI a Nerd Official. On Twitter at 4th, that's the number 4 THANDWON because you won pod. Please like, rate, and review us. Give us 5 stars. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, comment on our shit. Comment, too. That's important.
Hey, yeah, comment, interact, feedback. We'll take it all. I just realized my name on the Zoom is Kennedy. My daughter uses this for school. My name is not Kennedy. It is Sean. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching and listening. I'm Sean.
And I'm Matt.
Catch you next time.
Giants.